Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. No Terrence this week, but he will be back next week. Look, let's get right into it. Checked out this week. Micah, you watched the premiere episode of season 2 for The Last of Us.
Yeah. And it's more of The Last of Us. Much like the game, I don't feel the need to kind of rush out and see this.
Okay.
But I will watch it up until, I get what I want, what I want to see. As a Doctor Doom fan, I feel I'm owed this moment in The Last of Us.
Okay, fair enough.
It's good, but I feel like we're going to run into the same issue that the first season had and that the first game had. The show moves at a slightly slower pace than I would like it to.
Yeah.
Like there's one thing world build, right? But that first season, I don't know. It felt like it was moving slow. A little bit. Not a lot. Not egregious, not to the point where it's like I can't finish this, right?
Right.
But and I'm hoping that doesn't happen with this, but maybe I felt it in the first season because I knew everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And in the second season, I only know of one thing that I'm looking forward to happen. So, hopefully I won't, but look, it's still good. I don't know what to tell you. Like it's still a really good show. I haven't got my wife to watch it, and you know what? It's probably for the best.
Nah, like at this point, you're already in the season 2.
Up and she'll start a second season without seeing the first, but then it's like
that's crazy, dude.
I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it.
No, here's Wikipedia. Go read up on the first season. I'm not. No, absolutely.
Right.
I'm not bringing you up to speed. Yeah, my wife and I are watching the season finale of the first season tonight, and then we will go right into season 2. Yeah, I mean, look, I mentioned this last week. The reviews of Pedro Pascal's performance in season 2, they were like, "This shit is like super top shelf," and I thought he was excellent in the first season. By the way, I thought everyone was really good. I can't really think of anybody's performance in that first season. I was like, I didn't think it was that great. Like, no, everybody was really excellent, honestly. As far as the pacing, I haven't played the games, right? So I didn't know, like, I know the most general aspects of the story and obviously the major thing that happens in the second game. But I don't know all the ins and outs and every detail of every character and everything else, but at all. So I guess for me, it was totally fine. As I'm watching through it the second time, yeah, there are some definitely like pacing issues, like from an overarching perspective. But I think it's probably because it feels like there's not that much of the main story that you couldn't just burn through in like 2 or 3 episodes, and then you'd be like kind of stuck, right? Because they have at least 2 episodes that are just completely disconnected from the main story. And they're just telling the backstories of these side characters, right? So, and that's sort of the world building I assume you're referring to. So it doesn't necessarily bother me because I don't know. Now, maybe for you, the second season will feel like that because you haven't played the second game, right? So,
right.
Yeah, you kind of go in fresh. But I think they're also planning, if I recall, they're also planning to like kind of go their own way and not wait on like what happens in the third game that may or may never exist. So that's going to be an interesting thing. Like, can they pull it off and just do their own story as well?
To that, yeah, the director of the game is the co-showrunner of Neil Druckmann is one of the showrunners of the show. So this is his vision. If they do branch off from it, I mean, I wouldn't know, but if they do branch off from it, they will. When I watched it, I watched the little featurette at the end, and they said, yeah, the second game is so big, we had to split the season into at least two seasons. So season 2 and season 3 should encompass the game. I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would alter anything. They didn't alter a lot in the first game. It was a true adaptation. And I would assume they would do the same for the second game. The thing about, kind of not doing the main story and world building and getting to know characters and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do it, I didn't mind it too much in the first season, because when they did it, it was amazing. Right? Like, yeah. Like if you're going to do that, all right, if you're going to have essentially a filler episode, right?
I mean, the third episode is a total filler episode. It's the best episode of the entire show.
It's amazing. It's an amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing episode of love and loss, and it's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do that, fine. keep cranking out Emmy-worthy episodes.
Right. Like how upset. Hey, this is not the main story. I mean, but also this is excellent fucking prestige television. So yeah, it's a little hard to get that mad when you're like, oh, I mean, I'm crying for God's sake. Like, what are these tears? So yeah, it's good to hear that it's more of the same, but that feels like a negative, but it isn't necessarily, right? It's just like, yeah, the show's still great.
It feels like they got a little bit of money behind it. You can even tell in the first episode, like they don't really do like much, but you can tell in the first episode, like HBO was like, here's a wad of cash.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do, right? And then when you look at the this season on The Last of Us, you see all these like huge sets, and they look like they're actually there. You know what I mean? Like, right.
We destroyed this building just for you guys,
right? Like, it's amazing to me that like HBO and a subsidiary of Warner can throw money at projects like this, and Apple can throw money at projects like this, but Disney can't. Like, Disney is putting shit on the volume. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of weird, man. Like,
yeah,
I know everybody hates Eternals for some fucking reason, but that was a fucking movie, man. Like, that was a movie movie.
Yeah, that visually, that movie was quite impressive. Also,
yeah, man.
Narratively, it was like, it may not have been an action-packed Marvel movie as people are used to, but I would argue learn about filmmaking.
I mean, look, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to sound like a movie snob, right? You like what you like, right? Like, I'm saying that. Well, you're also going to tell me about a movie that you watch later. So like, you run the gamut. Right?
Look, I'm not above garbage. Okay, I'm not above it. More on that.
But but like, give stuff a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I don't know. But it's good.
Yeah, I still argue Eternals has the best scenes with a speedster by far.
They pulled it off.
They did. Look, Quicksilver looked dope, but Makari was even better. Like, and I just saw an interview with her, and she was like, "Oh, I don't think I'll be coming back." I was like, "That is a shame, because they should be able to do something with you, because that looked like that speedster shit looked excellent, not the I'm running in slow motion dumb shit that DC was doing." Hopefully they will correct that.
Or even like the Quicksilver, like, here's a streak. Like, like that. Makari had a real sense of speed, man. Like,
right. They were showing
very, very hard to pull off.
Yeah, they were showing from her point of view in her speed, right? Like, not in our, like, that's the weirdest thing about speedsters in comic movies. They always show them from their point of view, or like a weird third person view, but a complete other person's perspective. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why is Quicksilver in the X-Men movie, like, you see him moving around, sometimes even like with the camera sort of facing him, but then he's like moving at a slow speed. and then they ramp it up sometimes, like for comedy, which is like, stop. Like, yeah, I cannot say any more about how terrible all of those speedster scenes with Quicksilver in the Fox movies were. They were awful. All right, so The Last of Us, still great. Good. I will have more to say about that probably next week. You also watched something called Your Friends and Neighbors. I have no idea.
Yeah, so Apple is Apple TV. I think people sleep on it.
They do,
and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Not like what I'm about to tell you is not. The show is not like amazing, but it is good, right? Like Your Friends and Neighbors is a comedy drama film, and it's about a guy who is
this is a series.
New York. Yeah, it's a series.
Okay.
It's about a guy who is a hedge fund manager who is recently divorced and recently became unemployed. And he's got like a lot going on and he wants to keep up his lifestyle. He still pays for the majority of things that for his ex-wife and his family. And he's got to keep up that lifestyle. So he starts getting into like larceny. and
so
like
how is that
larceny.
different? Like, how is that different from what he was doing before?
Right, he's stealing from people he knows now.
Oh,
like
okay.
he's going in and like, hey, here's this watch. Like Brad should watch this because like he would get his watch rocks off. Like this guy's stealing a couple watches. And,
wait. No, you're underselling this. This isn't larceny. This is petty larceny.
Like, yes, yes.
It's the lowest form of larceny. Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, this is fun.
But he's stealing. But he's stealing like. But he's stealing these like extravagant watches from like his neighbor's house, and he's trying to like pawn them off. And these watches are going for like $200,000, and it's about a guy who is down on his luck and resorts to crime. Right? It's Breaking Bad, right? But instead of meth. Like the guy's committing petty theft, at least so far in the first 2 episodes. It's one of those.
Is wild.
It's one of those shows where it's like, oh, you don't want to root for the rich person because they're rich, but like you're kind of rooting for him because like everyone knows what it's like to be down on his luck. Right. You know what I mean? Look, I think the thing that drew me to this is Jon Hamm. I really like Jon Hamm as an actor. He was my choice for Reed Richards. I think Jon Hamm would have been an incredible Reed Richards.
Yeah, he would have.
Because he's got that like people like him, but like he's got like a punchable face, yo. Like he like
yeah, you could definitely see why you like him, but you could definitely see why people wouldn't like him. If someone's like, fuck Jon Hamm, you'd be like, yeah, I get it, I guess. Like, that makes sense. What did he do?
Yeah. Like, he seems like a nice guy in real life, but you know he could play a dick. You know what I mean? Like, you know he could play a real, like, asshole.
Last season of Fun.
Yeah. Mad Men. Like,
yeah.
So, but it stars Jon Hamm. He's the hedge fund manager who he's at a bar one day and a woman just kind of hits on him, and unbeknownst to him and her, she actually is employed by the same company. And this guy is like, did you have sex with this woman? It's like, yeah, but like, oh, well, you're fired. You're in a position of power and she's a subordinate. And he's like, but she's not my subordinate. And I didn't know. And she came on to me. It's like, nope, sorry. My hands are tied. You're fired, bro.
And wow, like, that's ridiculous.
Exactly. You're right. Exactly. And it's like, damn, well, what the fuck? Like, I kind of got to root for this guy, right? But things kind of happen, and Amanda Peet plays his ex-wife, who cheated on him with an NBA player. So they're divorced, but yeah, oh, he's black. He's black.
She got a little bit of an interracial porn face, like she does.
She does. Yeah, she does. She looks like she could be on Blacks on Blondes or whatever.
Blacked.
And you know, I'm doing a bad job of describing the show, but I think it's a very entertaining show. It's about like people committing crimes and shit.
And these are like 45-minute episodes. Looks like hour episodes.
Yeah, they're like an hour and 45 minutes. It's not a bad watch. I think it's pretty good.
All right. I like the cast. I mean, I like Olivia Munn. I think people sleep on her as an actual actress. I think she's actually pretty good, minus her playing Psylocke, which wasn't her fault, incidentally. She looked great.
No, it wasn't. She's actually really good at what she's trying to do here.
Yeah, she was great on
really good at what she's trying to do.
On that new show too. I can't remember, on HBO. She was excellent on that show. And Amanda Peet has always been really good. She hasn't been in much for a long time.
I was about to say, where the hell's Amanda Peet been?
It's been a minute since I've seen her. I mean, she did that. Was it The Whole 9 Yards with Bruce Willis?
Yeah,
I remember she went topless in that, and I was like,
I remember that. That's why I remember it.
Okay, it's like there are her Peets. I got it. So being an asshole. But yeah, she's a good actress as well. And John Hamm is awesome. So yeah, it's a pretty good sort of main cast. All right, I'll check it out. Excellent.
Yeah, I'll check out Government Cheese and report back next week.
I am very excited to watch that. Actually, I'm very excited.
Along with Sinners, and we're seeing that tomorrow. And my son wants to see this one movie, so we're letting him watch like regular TV because like I'm tired of going and can you change this? Can you change that? I ain't doing all that, and you ain't watching the same thing over and over and over again. So, but the problem with that is he is starting to watch commercials, and
disaster.
Commercials, right? A disaster. He wants everything, right? Wants all this, wants all that. Boys' toys, girls' toys, doesn't matter. He wants it, right? And he wants to see this movie that I'd never heard of, called Sneaks. Have you heard about this movie?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Sneaks is an animated sports comedy film.
Oh, okay.
And it follows the adventures of Ty, a misguided sneaker designer who does not know life outside the comforts of his velvet-lined shoebox. Designer sneaker, not a sneaker designer, a designer sneaker. He is an actual shoe, a sentient shoe. Okay. And after his sister, the right shoe or whatever, is stolen by a shady collector, Ty must venture into New York City to find and rescue her. And in his adventure, he meets a ragtag group of footwear friends, all sneakers. We call them tennis shoes where I'm from. Everything is tennis shoes. To help find his missing twin. And Anthony Mackie and Martin Lawrence and Chloe Bailey and Lawrence Fishburne and
Fishburne? What the fuck is he doing in this movie?
and Chris Paul and Quavo and Keith David and Sam J. And
okay,
I've never. There's a lot of people in it. There's a lot of people in it, and I had never heard of it. But it's a movie about talking tennis shoes, so he wants to go see it. So
right, fair enough.
That'll be the next movie I take my son to. I feel like I'm failing as a father because my father took me to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman. And I'm taking him to see Paw Patrol and Dog Man and Sneaks. I don't know if I'm a bad father or if the stuff that's out is just
trash.
Just not hitting the way it used to.
Now, in fairness to him, okay, you saw Batman. You were 9. Okay, he's got a couple more years before he sees that.
Yeah. I showed him Captain America, the latest Captain America, because I want him to see himself as a hero, right? Of course. And he was like, he saw the leader and was like, I'm kind of scared. I don't want to watch this.
He was like, nah, I'm good, dog. He heard that dialogue.
I tried to warn him. I was like, his head's gonna look weird, but as soon as he saw those bright green eyes, he was like, nah,
turn that shit off.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it.
Turn this off. Not a fan.
All right, well, what about the Red Hulk? And look, here's Captain America flying, and I know you like that. Yeah, but what about the green guy? I was like, all right.
Yeah, nah. It's just like, nice try, Dad. Nice try. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, speaking of Captain America, I watched G20 on Amazon Prime. This is the movie starring Viola Davis as the President of the United States. Her and the other 19 leaders at the G20 summit in South Africa, they get captured by Homelander, Anthony Starr, and because of reasons, right? Spoiler alert, it's like a Bitcoin thing. God, I'm so sick and tired of cryptocurrency. This is not a good movie, guys. This movie is dumb. It's really silly. But you know what? I kind of had a fun time with it. I'm not gonna lie. It's ridiculous. One, Viola Davis is jacked as fuck in this movie, which good for her. She looks awesome. Anthony Anderson plays her husband, which doesn't feel right to me. Like they feel like they're different age groups completely. I don't know how different they are in age, but it doesn't. I don't know. It feels weird for them to be married in this movie. It just feels strange. I don't know. They have a completely different vibe as human beings. Like it doesn't match up. It's just very strange.
Like Viola Davis seems a little more sophisticated, and Anthony Anderson, he's kind of a goofball.
Right, but he doesn't play this role goofy at all. Like it's serious.
He is 54, she is 59. Just for
all right. So, I mean, it works. It's weird. Like they just don't seem like they're from the same generation of actors or anything. Like it feels weird.
Yeah, I got you.
So
one was in Fences and the other one was in Kangaroo Jack. I get what you're saying.
There might be a slight mismatch there, but you look, with this movie is the great equilibrium. Like it really is. Trust me. Viola Davis apparently was like, I just want to do something fun and silly. You did. This is a wild statement. And again, I'm not even saying that one is necessarily better than the other. I'm actually not saying that this is better than the other thing. I had a better time with this than I did with Captain America Brave New World. I swear to God. I did, dude. I did. Like, is it a better movie than that? No. Fundamentally, it's not. Right? It's not. Did I have a better, visceral time with this? Yeah, I kind of did. I did, man. Which is wild. The movie is it's a very kind of shitty Die Hard story, right? Like, we got all these people captured. You can't get in here and get these people. And then, you got a person on the inside fighting back, type of shit. And you learn a little bit more about Viola Davis's background because she was like a former military. She was like in Fallujah or some shit. And she became popular because someone snapped a picture of her coming out of this building holding this child during the war. And she just rose to prominence and then ran for president and won. So you find out more about her background and that whole story. And then at the same time, you've got the Anthony Starr shit and him trying to do what he does as a villain. And then she's got her disconnection seemingly to her daughter and how does that work out and everything else, which is the young black girl from Blackish. I like watching black people do dope shit even when it's ridiculous. That's what I know about myself. This takes place in South Africa, and at a certain point, there's some South African sort of I don't know, they're a part of the South African president's Secret Service type of thing. You think they're kind of waiters, but they're not. And they come in and they're just doing badass shit. And I was just yeah, I like this. They kill a guy at one point. One of the dudes takes a knife and fucking throws it and hits a guy in the chest and kills him. And the son says what I said in my head, which is are y'all from Wakanda? That's what he says. And I was that is a response I would probably have if I was that kid's age. Yeah. It's silly, but you know what? It's a good folded laundry movie. I can't lie. I had moments where I was all right, that's ridiculous that you do that thing you're doing. But at the same time, I am entertained. It's dumb as shit, but I'm entertained. There's a moment where two people who are not villains are in the Beast, which is the president's car, which is basically a military grade vehicle. They're driving out of the facility. They have escaped the enemies. They're driving out of the facility and they're driving towards all of the good guys, all the military that's outside of the perimeter, right? they're being fired upon by rockets from the bad guys at the facility. Like, you can see these rockets trying to hit the Beast, and they're driving ahead. For some reason, the thought process of the soldiers, the good guy soldiers, they start shooting guns at the Beast. Why would that be the bad guys if the bad guys are shooting rockets at the Beast? Why would you also be shooting them? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh shit. You would assume, oh shit, it's the rocket launcher. I assume that's the president or some other good guys. So we're going to stop. No, they just keep firing at them. Luckily, the Beast has bulletproof windows. But yeah, it's just that moment I was like, who wrote that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's dumb, but I had a good time with it. I'm not going to lie. Would I watch it again? No, I wouldn't.
I mean, look, you know, everybody's got the right to, you know, make Jelly Bean movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Viola Davis has been making a wide assortment, a smorgasbord of, you know, comfort food, of different types of exotic food, and now she just want to serve up some fucking jelly bellies.
Yeah, just
all right, fine.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like,
just don't do too much of it.
Right, like, you're allowed. I mean, she's been doing like Doubt, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Fences, The Help, The Woman King. Yeah, look, you want to do G20, throw it in there. I don't give a shit. That's fine. But yeah, it's silly as shit. But she looked like she was having a good time. She was fucking jacked. She was like super fucking jacked. Like, at one point, she's like fighting a guy. I'm like, that guy's like 265. You're not going to beat him. Oh, look, she beat him. Okay, cool. All right. Fuck it. Sure. This is where we are right now. So yeah, it's silly, but I had a good time with it. All right. We both obviously watched Daredevil Born Again, the finale. Look, spoilers, plenty of spoilers. Yeah, that was a hell of a fucking finale. God damn. This season was really great. I think this season stacks up against season 3 for me quite well.
I tend to agree with you. You know, it did feel a little different, especially towards the beginning. Towards the beginning was kind of rocky, which, you know, given all the you know, the overhaul that they had to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I think they pulled off whatever they needed to really well. I don't, you know, nobody knows what the original vision for this was, but I think they started off a little rocky, but and some of the stories in the middle are kind of just there, but they do bring it home. They refine their focus, and they stick the landing.
Yeah.
And I was satisfied with this as a season 1 ending. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Rainbow Coalition of vigilantes that Matt Murdock is trying to assemble. I'm frightened.
I'm wondering what that is gonna be.
Yeah, I'm wondering what there's going to be. You know, there are rumors about, you know, the Defenders coming back. I know Kristen Ritter apparently was kind of like giving little winks and nods that she might be coming back
for months.
And you know, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple of them just come back to help out. I'm frightened at how accurately art seems to imitate life, because this was done.
No. This last episode was redone. It was redone.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but even still, it wasn't redone 2 weeks ago. Like, it wasn't.
Right. Right.
Months ago.
I feel it was done to the point where I feel like, you know, life imitating art, imitating life. Right. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this dude, like, got this idea of, like, getting rid of cops and only having a certain, his own personal, you know, PMC.
Right.
And yeah, you know, we live in weird times, man. We live in weird times. But
I mean, there's a line in the finale about like, what are we going to do after this? Or like, how do we deal with this? And it's something resist, rebel, rebuild, or something.
rebuild.
And rebuild. And I was like, anybody catch the fact that that's similar to the kind of same theme as the 3 bullets with the names on it?
Yeah, the bullets.
Like,
yeah.
The words on it. Like, anybody catch that one? All right. This is just me? It's probably happenstance, right, guys? Probably happenstance, right? So it's there's a lot. As I wrote in our Discord, there is no intelligent way to read that last episode outside of fuck Donald Trump personally. Like really, you cannot read it enough. Oh no, they couldn't have meant. They definitely meant it like that, dude. Like, actually, like they don't need. I mean, he literally was like, "No due process." I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" Like, Jesus Christ! Spoiler alert: vigilantes is just a stand-in for minorities you don't care for. Like that's all they're doing. Like,
right.
Yeah, I was impressed. Like, I think it could feel ham-fisted if the times were different, but at a certain point, you got to kind of hit people in the head with a pipe and be like, "Wake the fuck up!" Like, because I think
sometimes you know that's kind of
to some degree.
That's kind of the purpose of art in desperate times. Is you kind of have to take a fistful of ham, right?
Yeah,
like
you just do. We
tried
to tell y'all for 8 years and you didn't listen.
And look, if you don't want to read too much into it, like you don't have to, right? Like it's if you are a member of Stop and Fisk, right? If you think that's a good idea, then like okay, you can still get enjoyment out of it. But I don't know how you could, right? Like Frank Castle came back in this episode and he got to do his Punisher thing, right? Even his little gorilla grunts and shit. Right? Like
in slow motion, dude. In slow motion.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like he got to do his thing, right? And I love what they're doing with him. And everybody hates Punisher Warzone, but like Punisher Warzone did it also. I'm just saying, like he's a psychopath. He's crazy, and he has this thing where criminals have to die, right? But I love the fact that I don't want to give too much clout to a corporation, but like good on Disney Marvel for like actually
going there
addressing the cops co-opting the Punisher skull and saying, here's the Punisher telling a bunch of cops who, I mean, it's in your face. Like there's no subtlety with it, right? It's like the butt of a gun to the temple. Like it hits you, right? And they did that scene where he's just like, fuck y'all. Y'all don't know my pain. Y'all don't know what I do, why I do it. Fuck y'all. I hate y'all. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't have to do this if they did their fucking job.
Yeah. And that's the only part of that. That's the only part of that speech that's missing of the, like, I wouldn't have to do this if you did your job properly. Right. Like, which is where I feel like they should have leaned into that a little bit, but
yeah,
no, I mean, he was just like, these bunch of wannabes. And then he proceeded to kick the shit out of all these guys, which was amazing.
He was like, look, Red, these cops come in, these fanboys come in here. All right. I'm not playing with them. I'm going to chop them up.
I was like, yeah, I was like, yo, that scene was
chop them up.
Dude, when he was, there's a scene in that, like, after that, at the end of that first fight, like, Frank goes to, like, shoot the one guy. He's like, what about this guy? And he's like, no, don't kill him. I don't want to, that black cop that was, like, hurt and he was, like, down or whatever. He's like, no, don't kill him or whatever. And he was just like, oh, okay. He just walks over to another guy. He's like, what about this guy? Pop, pop, pop. It's just like, puts, like, 4 bullets in him. He didn't even fucking think about it. It was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Wonderful.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, just Frank going into that last scene was just like, I'm just going in there with with a gun, like 1 or 2 guns, a knife, and a bulletproof vest. Just taking shots directly to the back. He was just like, keep going. He's a psychopath. Like he is. You're absolutely right. He's a fucking lunatic. Look, I didn't finish The Accountant. It just wasn't a movie that particularly interested me. I may go back and watch it, but by all accounts, people were just like in our Discord was like, look, if your movie's struggling, your series is struggling, just pour some fucking John Bernthal on it. Like, don't even worry about it. The Accountant 2, John Bernthal. Like, put him in more. I know he was in the first one a little bit, but yeah. Dude just shows up and elevates everything he's in. Is an action sequence? Fuck yeah, John Bernthal. Like, don't even worry about it. I love that guy. He's great. He feels very authentic to the type of psychopath I want playing Frank Castle, by far. It makes me very excited for whatever that special presentation that he's co-writing. Oh no, it's going to be insanely violent. Can't wait. Also, don't shake hands with Frank Castle, ever. What are you doing? How are you that dumb? Hey, buddy. Just like, rip the arm out of this sucker.
Also, don't talk on Superman's cape, right? Don't shake hands with Frank Castle, and don't have a meeting with the kingpin of crime. Like
never,
especially if you are an honest cop. Otherwise, you will get a Jax style fatality.
Yeah, it was like fucking Scanners. Boom. I thought they were going to just like, all right, he crushed his head and he fucking died. I didn't think they were going to fucking show it. Jesus Christ. Like, good God. All right. At the same time,
when I text you.
Yeah, I know. You were like,
watching this show.
This is fucking insane. Like, I watched it much later in the evening because it's 2 hours. I'm 2 hours behind Micah. It was probably like 11 or 12 o'clock by the time I saw it, your time. And I just messaged you that animated GIF of that bear, like, hey, yo, what the fuck? What is happening? Yeah, that was crazy. That was super crazy. That was a hell of a finale. Also, that first scene with Punisher and Daredevil fighting side by side looked really good. That looked great.
Yeah,
they've really amped up the use of the cane and everything, and sort of the grappling hook or whatever system that he has in this season more than ever, and it looks really, really good. I'd like to. I know because the budget is only but so big. It's not a movie budget. I would like to see more of the like swinging with it and stuff like that, like on buildings. It's just because from a budgetary perspective, like they'd have to CGI that shit. But it would be kind of dope to like pull out, like zoom out a little bit and see him kind of on rooftops and stuff like that. I think that'd be kind of fun. But I'm not mad about it because I get it from a budgetary perspective.
Yeah,
all good.
But look, I'm perfectly fine with. I can't remember what I said about. I remember we were discussing this like a month ago, and I can't remember what I said because I have a terrible memory and I tend to flip flop on things a lot. But when I'm all for Wilson Fisk being the Thanos of street level villains.
Yeah.
I think I said something to the effect of, I think all this is just going to stay on TV. No, I want it to translate to the movies now. I really do. I really, really do.
I don't know that they can. Like Vincent D'Onofrio.
I don't know. Yeah.
He said something about like that's not an easy thing to do. I don't understand why. Like, I don't really get it. I mean, Matt Murdock has been in the movies, so I don't know why. But it would be nice if this thing happening in the city where all of the fucking heroes are, that it expands out at least a bit in the movies. Like it should have an effect in the movies.
Just a bit. Like I don't necessarily need plot. Like I don't need Tony Stark interacting with the Kingpin. Right.
That's too much.
I would like to see, but I would like if Spider-Man takes place in New York City, I would like some acknowledgement that, Wilson Fisk is the mayor. I would like some acknowledgement that like this stuff is happening.
Right.
I saw a wild theory that the Brand New Day subtitle for the Spider-Man movie is in direct relation to the events that are happening now in Daredevil.
Interesting.
In that it is a brand new day for justice and crime and how things like Wilson Fisk is the reason why things are the way they are right now, right? And with his curfew and his, like because he caused the blackout, right? He caused the blackout to get looters out so that he could send his task force out to start like beating people up and shooting people and then just pulling a hat over their eyes and saying, "Oh, he's a vigilante." Oh.
Yeah, that was fun.
I guess I got again, that really does invoke oh, we messed up. Oops, we sent them over there. Oops. Oh, well, he's a terrorist. Yeah, he's a terrorist and a gang.
Did we say he was a terrorist last week? No, we said he was innocent. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about what we said last week. Some people should hang for treason. Anyway, really should. Yeah, really solid. Just really, really solid season. Excellent finale. Really excellent finale. Yeah. I mean, if you didn't think Daredevil was back, I mean, where are all the voices? Oh, they're never going to be able to pull this off. Where you at? You're like, where you at? Because this has been more violent than the Netflix stuff. Like, they never showed the shit that they showed in this fucking finale. Like, they just never did. Yeah, all those voices got real quiet, like real fast. So, good for Disney to pull it off, and Marvel Studios very specifically.
I think who's Heather Glenn is Matt Murdock's girlfriend. Yeah. Isn't she one of the many women that like die as a result of knowing or being involved with Matt Murdock?
Probably.
I think this is a very interesting like triangle that they're in, right? Because you could see her like moving more and more, let's just say conservative, because she's, she wants to be a part of the Fisk organization and she doesn't like vigilantes, and she just seems like she's moving more to the right to me. And I just, it's the whole, my girlfriend doesn't know my secret identity, but like she hates, it's like the J. Jonah Jameson thing, like, bring me pictures of Spider-Man, Parker, right? But he like doesn't know that he's right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I like that. I like that type of interaction between characters. Look, God damn it. I can't. 2026. Hurry up and get here, man. Hurry up and get here.
March of 2026 and then, is the talk that this is when it's supposed to drop second season.
Yeah.
All right. Works for me. I'm excited. All right, Micah, take it away.
Oh, man. Bad things come in threes. The next Godzilla Cross Kong movie is going to have Sam Jurassic Park Neill in it. He joins Delroy Lindo, Caitlin Denver, Jack O'Connell, and the film is the follow-up to 2024's Godzilla Cross Kong: The New Empire, which earned $571 million at the global box office. Plot details are being kept under wraps. All right, Kong and Godzilla have to work together to fight a third party. I'm assuming is what the plot of this new movie is going to be. Okay. It will feature several new human characters alongside the beloved and iconic titans Godzilla and Kong as they face off against a cataclysmic world-ending threat.
Cool.
Look, I've never really been into these. I saw the first. I did see Peter Jackson's King Kong, and I didn't see the other one. Or did I see it? I think I did see it. The other monkey movie. I can't remember the guy's name.
Kong Skull Island?
Skull Island. Yes, Kong Skull Island. I think I did see that. And I didn't see any of these Godzilla movies just because I'm not, I tried to give these movies a shot. And I saw Godzilla vs. Kong, the first one, because it's like, all right, well, I just want to see like two Unga Bunga characters Unga Bunga each other, right? But yeah, I'm done. I don't really. I've never really cared for kaiju stuff. Even like Robotech and Voltron and stuff like that. It just big robots and big monsters aren't really my thing.
Look, I didn't like Kong Skull Island. I thought it was really bad. However, I did watch the show, whatever that one was called on Apple TV, which had no reason to be good as it was. That was fucking great. I actually recommend that. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'll look it up. But that was really good. But the rest of it, I don't, any of those like Kong movies and shit like that, zero interest.
Was there? I think the show was called Monarch. Is there a?
Monarch. Yep.
Was there a? Were there any like big monster stuff in it?
Yes.
Like
absolutely. There's a lot of it. So okay. Monarch is about the organization, right? That has like been running throughout these movies. But it starts off like dealing with like the start of Monarch into the present day. Yeah, man. Monarch was really fucking good. Kurt Russell was great in it. But it's like weirdly excellent. Like you're like, how are you making this and then putting out these garbage ass movies? Like I don't understand it. Like this is all tied together. But yeah, I would recommend Monarch Legacy of Monsters. You don't actually even have to watch those other movies. You could just watch the show and just enjoy the show. But yeah, no, because they end up going into wherever it is in the planet where the monsters are by the end. So there's like tons of fucking huge kaiju and shit. But it's actually a well-told story. And it's like a world hopping story too, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it's really good. And like you've got Kurt Russell in this show playing, present day character, and Kurt Russell's son playing him when he's young, which is really good because they look and sound exactly the fuck alike. So yeah, it works. But yeah, I would recommend. Monarch was great. This movie, I don't care. I'm not watching it. Monarch season 2, if that happens, I'll watch that. So no thanks. Next up.
Florence Pugh recently told Fandango that she incessantly emailed Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige about not using a stunt double for the filming of a Thunderbolts scene in which her character jumps off the second tallest building in the world. No. That would be the Merdeka 118 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Yes, it's only 118 inches tall.
I was like, wait,
she
what?
Dared to dream.
I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Yeah. The building stands at 2,722 feet tall. Pugh loves heights and wanted to be the one to jump off. Short people usually do love heights. It's called.
No, the fuck they do not. Well, as a tall person.
So you just admitted that you're.
Yeah. Damn.
Okay.
Fucked up.
I got on all the emails. It was in the script, and then slowly, as we got closer and closer to shooting, they said, "Don't even think." They don't think it's going to happen because it's a crazy insurance ordeal, and obviously we're not going to throw me off the second tallest building in the world. I was like, what the fuck? Of course we are. We have to do it. And they were like, no. She said I was being a sassy Karen.
Yeah,
Kevin. And saying it's going to do wonders for the press tour. We have to do this. We're going to have three women break three different Guinness World Records, and we'll do this and this. I had to keep on pushing, and they were like, okay, if you want to fall off the second tallest building, we'll figure it out for you.
White people are crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
But in the volume,
seems too young. She seems too young to be going through whatever midlife crisis she has to want to jump off a building. Or maybe she's just got brass balls. I don't know.
No, she got that Tom Cruise craziness in her. Like, look, mad respect.
Yeah, because she only 20. She only 29. She's only 29, which means she's probably 28. You know, her brain was barely formed. It forms at 25.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she probably was just like, nah, yo, I want to do this. I'm young.
And dumb.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. No. Do I want to see you do it? Hell yeah, I want to see you do it. Would I do it? Not for all the money in the world. We'll give you $1 billion. No,
I mean,
because if I don't make it, then I'm dead and I don't have the money. And if I make it,
I'm gonna have to. I mean,
you jumping off?
I might have to. I would for how much?
For $1 billion? $1 billion. No. You couldn't pay me to do it, yo.
For $1 billion. I would do it for $1 billion, bro.
Really?
I would do it for $1 billion. Yeah,
not me, yo.
Yeah,
I'm too scared. I'm too scared.
If I could look, it might be.
No, you cannot guarantee anything. You cannot guarantee.
I know you can't. Look, if I can guarantee that $1 billion, look, do I have to survive to get the $1 billion, or can the $1 billion just be like transferred to my family?
No.
If the $1 billion can be transferred to my family, I'm doing it.
All right, that's fair. If you don't make it, that's the end of the contract. You didn't make it.
No, that's a bullshit contract.
Yeah, well, that's all I'm saying.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
That's a damned if you do, double damned if you don't. Like, nah, yo,
absolutely. You just been trumped. That's the kind of deal that is.
Yeah, that's a monkey paw wish. Okay, get the fuck out of here. No, absolutely not. Oh, you made it. Yeah, I also had a nervous breakdown. Thanks. You can pay for my therapy. Yeah, but look, all reports are that Thunderbolts is pretty goddamn good. That's the early talk. So I look forward to it.
I hope so. I look forward to watching it. Like this, I'm looking at a list of projects that encompassed the multiverse saga, and it's a lot of them, but a lot of them are like TV shows and one-offs and stuff like that. So I'm very much looking forward to Thunderbolts. Not as much as I am Fantastic Four, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. That's great.
Jeez, there's a lot of projects
that have happened or that are coming?
That have happened in the multiverse saga. There's a ton of projects.
Yeah.
WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki Season 1, Black Widow, What If Season 1, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Hawkeye Season 1, Spider-Man No Way Home, Moon Knight Season 1, Multiverse of Madness, Miss Marvel Season 1, Thor Love and Thunder, I Am Groot Season 1, She-Hulk Season 1, Werewolf by Night, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Secret Invasion, I Am Groot Season 2, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, What If Season 2, Echo Season 1, Deadpool. Yo, it's a ton of fucking projects.
That is a lot. That is a shit ton. All right, cool. Here's hoping. Okay.
I think Thunderbolts will be good. I think they,
I think they're figuring it out.
Yeah.
If they can pull off Thunderbolts and make it fun and it's a real good time, that word of mouth is going to spread like shit, and people are going to be like, oh damn, are they back? And then I think you're going to start not like the mega flooding to the theater, but I think you're going to start to see that momentum to start getting under them. And if they can get that momentum running with that movie going into Fantastic Four, that's a good sign. So
I need this box office season to be good, man. Like, I know Minecraft did really, really well, but
it did. But isn't it like a hate watching thing? People are saying I can't get a beat on whether people actually enjoyed that movie.
I don't know if people are enjoying it, but I know people have kids, and like my son was like, I want to see the Minecraft movie, and I'm like,
it's rated R.
No. I ain't doing that. Like, no, I don't want to take you to it. You can watch it when it comes out on video. I'm not doing. I'm not going to the theater to watch that. I just can't. But kids love it, and I didn't think he knew what Minecraft was. Like, that's how, one, poor of a parent I am, and two, how ubiquitous that property is.
Oh yeah, I'm sure kids in school are talking about that show like hell.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about this, but I can honestly tell you I don't know what Roblox is. I don't know what it is. Is it like Minecraft? I have no idea. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what they do. I don't know. People are like, oh, it's on Roblox. I'm like, is that a new dance move? Yeah. I don't know what it is. And there is a large part of my brain that goes, I am more than okay with that. Fine with that. I never need to know. I am happily ignorant. Next up, this is kind of breaking news. Ryan Gosling is officially joining the Star Wars universe. Ryan Gosling is going to be the lead in Star Wars Starfighter, which will open May 28th, 2027. This is being directed by Sean Levy, who did Deadpool, at least the last Deadpool movie. He's worked with Ryan Reynolds on quite a few movies as well. So no word on whether or not this is tied to the video game that came out of the same title like back in the day, but probably not. Gosling has said, the reality is that the script is just so good. It has such a great story with great and original characters. It's filled with so much heart and adventure, and they're just really not a more perfect filmmaker for this particular story than Sean. No word on like exactly what it's about. Sean Levy also did the Adam Project, which was like a decent kids movie. I watched that with Ryan Reynolds. It was fine. And then This Is Where I Leave You, which is a great. That was a great movie. It was just really.
Didn't he do Deadpool and Wolverine?
He did. Yeah, he did the last Deadpool movie as well. So we'll see. It says the film is a standalone movie that will not be. That will be unconnected to the so-called Skywalker saga. So we'll see. This is a standalone. It's not a prequel, not a sequel. It's a new adventure. It's set in a period of time that we haven't seen explored yet.
Okay.
We'll see.
Two things. One, I'm surprised they haven't really. They have this whole High Republic era. I remember there's a big rollout, and there's a sextology of books that
my favorite type
are coming out. I'm reading the fourth one now. Right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Way to hold the book upside down.
I'm surprised.
It's a good book. I like it.
Yeah, this is how you read, guys. Right? This is how you read books, guys. I'm surprised they haven't really tapped into that.
Isn't I thought what's his name is working on a High Republic movie. I thought there was who's the guy? There hasn't been a movie specifically announced for High Republic era. Right. There's
the Acolyte was set in that era. And they made reference to the hyperspace disaster, but I figured the whole point of setting this, millennia ahead of the Skywalker universe or timeline is that, you got a whole new set of stories you can tell about Jedis versus pirates, essentially.
And, and just do what you want.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked they haven't kind of tapped into a lot of that yet. But
yeah, there's one that's I forget who the director is. He's doing one that's like way in the past, but I guess it's not during the High Republic era. So,
all right. The other reason is that you mentioned Ryan Gosling, and I am reminded that I watched the first 3 episodes of the 7th season of Black Mirror.
Okay. I have not watched it.
And episode 3, Hotel Reverie, is about an actor played by Issa Rae trying to get a movie role, and the studio, it's a love story, and the studio wants one of the Ryans, either Gosling or Reynolds, to play the lead, and in a remake of a movie from like the 40s or whatever. And Issa Rae is like, well, I want to be the lead, right? And she wants to play the male character, right?
Okay.
And they have this technology where they put her consciousness in essentially the Matrix, and she acts out this old movie, but she kind of gets stuck in it.
Fascinating.
Of the 3, of the 3 episodes I watched, this one was not the best.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed. I feel like they overbooked it, to use wrestling parlance. I feel like they're doing too much. The first one, Common People, is about a husband and wife. The wife has some sort of brain aneurysm and finds out there's a tumor in there. And Tracy Ellis Ross is like, I can fix that for you. And they're like, yeah, do it. Right. So she implants this thing into her brain, and it works like cell phone coverage. Right. If she goes out of the zone, she blacks out. And it's like, yo, wait, what? So they go to Trace Ellis Ross, and it's like, she's like, yeah, but we told you about that. But if you upgrade to, Brain Plus or whatever it is,
Friends and family or whatever.
Right, the friends and family plan, you can get the expanded coverage. So you got to pay more, and it's a commentary on predatory subscription practices, and it's pretty good. But the second episode so far is my favorite. It's all about gaslighting in a very high tech way, and to the point where Netflix has 2 different versions of this episode out, and you might get a different version, a slightly different version of the episode than I have. And they mean to spark like this gaslighting conversation between real people that happens in the show. It's actually kind of cute.
Okay.
So yeah, watch Black Mirror. I'm telling you about all this stuff, folks, because we don't have a lot of news to talk about.
I'm just remembering some of the more disturbing episodes of Black Mirror. Do you remember the Shut Up and Dance one? Do you remember that episode?
Yeah, I do remember that one.
That's probably the most controversial episode, where like they're like blackmailing someone who they think is a pedophile or something, and they're like, go to this place and like do this thing, rob this place and all that. Like, that's one of the most disturbing fucking episodes. And I remember watching that and it's like, who the fuck wrote this? What kind of psychopath wrote this shit? And it's like, oh, next episode, I'm like, I need to like turn off TV for like a year. This is like fucked up.
This gaslighting episode was maddening, yo. It was maddening.
All right. I have not watched a number of seasons of Black Mirror, and I'll be honest with you. It's just because I watched that one episode that had the giant spider where they had to like stay in the house overnight. And I was just like, I'm fucking out, dude. I am out of here. Like, get the fuck out. I'm done with the entire series. Like, that shit fucked me up. Super funny. I couldn't. I couldn't. They're like, oh, it's whatever your nightmare is. And I'm like, well, it can't be that bad. And it was a giant spider. I was like, fuck, that is my nightmare. Thanks a lot. Like, thank you, Black Mirror. So yeah, I got to get back into it. I always like the social commentary ones. Like those are always fun. I don't want to just be like freaked out to be freaked out. But when it's something that is just like the very first episode where they made the politician fuck the pig, right? Like that was fucked up, but it was also just like, it's uncomfortable. But it wasn't scary. And I like the ones that are just uncomfortable, not necessarily scary. Because again, I am a giant coward. That spider, I was like, I'm out. Fuck off. Next up, Harry Potter HBO series confirms casting for Dumbledore, Snape, McGonagall, Hagrid, and more. So I really like that series. Yeah, I know J.K. Rowling is a disgusting turf piece of shit. I still like the series. I wish he would go away in the worst ways you can think of. Trust me. But I still like the series. So John Lithgow is going to be playing Dumbledore, which I think is actually pretty good casting. Janet McTeer is going to be playing McGonagall. She's a fucking psychopath in every show she's in, so that'll be good. Paul Papa Esidu. He's in Gangs of London. He's very good in that show. He is going to be playing Severus Snape. I have a major problem with this because he is a very, very much a black man. I think he's a very good actor from what I've seen on Gangs of London. I am rooting for him as an actor. I truly am. I feel like Hollywood is just setting some black actors up to just get
you don't want him to play Snape,
destroyed. Like he's one of the most beloved fucking characters, dude. And it's not that I don't think this guy could handle it. I think this guy absolutely can handle it. Am I going to watch it and hope he fucking crushes it? Absolutely. One, Alan Rickman is an impossible fucking person to follow damn near, right? Like he just is in and of itself. Two, we live in an era of just white people losing their fucking shit over everything. Did it have to be fucking Snape of all characters? Did it have to be him? Fuck. Come on, man. Like, God damn it. Just like, please.
It's a double-edged sword because
you're setting this guy up to get his fucking, just be harassed and harangued the entire time.
It's a double-edged sword because like you don't want to see somebody get harassed. But Snape is look, I don't know much about this series, but I do remember Severus Snape. Part of it is because, like you said, it was Alan Rickman. But
amazing.
That character, from what I can remember, is very, very important. And he's
incredibly important to the series.
Right. And it's one of the very meatier roles that you could have in this. Because it's got layers to it, right? Like he is not who he comes off as, and he's you don't root for him, but then you find out more about him, and it's like, oh, well, then you kind of feel sorry for him, and then it turns out
he has to make impossible fucking choices and shit like that.
Right?
He's a real tragic character in a lot of ways.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. He's a very tragic character.
And again, I'm not saying that this guy can't do it. I think that he can. I know he's not going to get a proper chance in the eyes of a lot of people just because he's black. And that's not fair to him. But at the same time, I don't want to see that guy just like not get career opportunities just because he's black too, right? Like you said, it's like a double-edged sword. I'm rooting for him, man. I really am. I hope he fucking kills it. I hope he is so good, it is undeniable. You know what I mean? Where even though people are like screaming in the side, everyone else is like, yo, he's fucking amazing in this. Like, shut up, But a lot of times those voices just overshadow even performances because they just make it all about just his skin color, right? We'll see. We'll see how he's presented. Because in a lot of ways, he's a big character in the overarching part of the series, like as a whole to the series, but he's not there all the time throughout everything, right? Like, so he's not like Dumbledore, who is he's in a ton of scenes all the time. His character just slowly builds in importance, right? Like underneath the main story until sort of a crescendo at the end of the series. So it'll be interesting. Other people who've been cast, Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, everybody knows him. He's going to be playing Hagrid. Solid fucking casting. I think that is excellent. It'll be interesting to see how they design him. And then Luke Thalen is playing Curnus Quirrell, who is a character. He was just in one movie. He was a somewhat important character. He's in the rotating seat of characters who get kind of tossed in every movie or every book. And then Paul Whitehouse will be playing Argus Filch, who is also a very fun weirdo character in Hogwarts. So that's all fine. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I think it's of the people that I know. I mean, it's some solid casting. It really is. So we'll see. I'm tired of seeing black people just get fucking harassed and harangued for just trying to do a job. It's annoying to me. So I wish that guy all the luck in the world. I really do. Next up, this is kind of interesting. Star Wars version that George Lucas banned to screen for the first time in 47 years. The 1977 Star Wars will receive a resurrection screening after being hidden away for decades in favor of tweaked special editions. Now, that sounds really weird. 47 years. I'm like, that doesn't seem correct, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. But apparently, George Lucas kept making tweaks and changes to the original Star Wars, like even up until like right before it was released in theaters. Like, so even the original time. So I didn't realize that. Like that, the one you even saw is not the original, which is fucking wild.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, when they think special editions, they think of the ones that came out in like 97, 98, where it's like, oh, here's these really bad CGI scenes and stuff like that. But no, he had been making tweaks even to the really early stuff. So, according to the Telegraph, the British Film Institute's Film on Film Festival in June will open with a screening of one of the few remaining Technicolor prints that was produced of Star Wars' initial run. The story. This is, the story reports, the first time the original print has been publicly screened since December of 1978. There have been copies that have made the rounds on home video. So yeah, Lucas tweaks to the print began with his very first theatrical release of Star Wars in 1981. The studio has since only permitted the screening of various special editions, but these guys got it. So there you go.
I mean, I'm not surprised, especially when, this was an independent movie. So, and George Lucas seems, most directors are, they're artists, man. And when an artist does something, it's very hard for them to like not want it to be perfect, especially when it's like, something out of something that you have created, right? You have birthed. You want it to be perfect. It's your baby, right? And it's hard not to be a pageant mom or a sports dad.
Right.
If this, especially because like you have 100% direct control.
Right. For now. I mean? Before it,
right.
Public. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I wish he didn't do those 90 special edition ones. Those were just ridiculous. But
I mean, it just didn't, like, the changes. One, the changes stuck out like a sore thumb, right. And two, they really, really weren't needed. Like,
they served no purpose.
Yeah, they really didn't. Like, it doesn't make sense that like Han Solo walks behind Jabba because Jabba's got a tail because he's a slug. Okay, but it doesn't make sense that Han Solo, in the position that he's in right now, would step on Jabba's tail, and Jabba, the feared gangster, wouldn't fucking reprimand him for it. Like, it just like that, yeah, and it looked ugly, right? Yeah. So it's, and then I think the other things were like, you put you have the band play in the jizz scene, but it was overly animated, right? Everything else is on like 1977 puppets. Right. Meanwhile, here's this fucking alien twerking in the middle of a cantina.
Like, right. Why are we doing that? Like, yeah, get it on. Right. Like, what was the purpose to the addition of the story? Like, why did that need to be in there? Like, what?
Right. Exactly.
Here's some stormtroopers riding some animal in the background in Tatooine. Okay. What did that add to the story that you needed to put that in there? Just put it in your movies.
Even for like, I can almost give that a pass just from a photography standpoint. Like, you want your shot to be composed a little better, right? Mm-hmm. But so I kind of get that. But the other stuff, that's just him, being a weirdo artist.
Yeah, that's it. Here's a quick breaking story. I hadn't seen this. Pacific Rim TV series from Legendary lands at Amazon for development. We've all seen the Pacific Rim movies. They are okay to kind of ridiculous. That second movie, they just didn't understand what scale was. Like, they were having robots use buildings to jump off of and do drop kicks. I was like, and the building stood. I was like, that's, how much does that robot weigh? That doesn't make sense. But then they would like bump into it and a building would fall down. It's like, all right, cool, physics, fuck it. the second movie was not greeted very well. Those movies were silly. Like, they just were silly. I enjoyed it for what it was, I guess. But yeah, they're doing a live action series. Should be coming to. It is in development now, so probably in the next like 2 years, I guess you'll get a Pacific Rim TV show, and somehow Amazon will like make this silly ass series something that we will give a shit about in a very weird way. Like, fine, fuck, deal with the human element of it, I guess. So we'll see.
Something that y'all give a shit about.
Come on, man, these are giant kaiju and
I'm good.
Cool robots.
I'm good.
Oh, sad. Yeah, probably not going to watch that if I'm being honest. All right, trailers this week. There is no what the fuck stories. Sorry, guys. All right, trailers. First one up, 28 years later. This is a full trailer. This looks fucked up in the best ways possible. I really love this series. I think it's really good. I'm going to go back and rewatch them before this comes out. This is obviously starring Jodie Comer and Aaron Taylor Johnson and Ray Fiennes. Yeah, this looks excellent. Everything about this series is kind of terrifying. The way they handle zombies, they are fast running zombies. It's nice to see Danny Boyle and Alex Garland get back together to do this, because they have a way of, one, the writing is going to be excellent because Garland is an excellent writer, but also Danny Boyle, his shooting style works really well for this type of shit. So, yeah, this looks supremely fucked up. I'm here for it.
I'm probably not going to watch it. I never watched the first two. There's just something about. I think, didn't the first one come out during like the zombie craze where like everything was zombies or something like that?
Probably.
And I just never got into it. Like, I understand, like, you know, I get it, but look, if I was into zombie movies, I would watch this just because it seems like it's very, very well made. But yeah, this is not for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I always wanted Danny Boyle to go back and do this movie, and the fact that this got announced and Garland is coming back to do it, that's awesome. So that's exactly what I want. And people look like they're getting murdered in really horrible, fucking disgusting ways. So, look, this sort of, there's a bit of a renaissance of like horror movies that actually take themselves with some level of seriousness, like in quality, over the last number of years. So, I like to see that. It makes me more interested in horror movies now more than ever. Even though, I mean, my cowardice, I think it's just like slightly lower than it used to be. So, you know, I'm growing. A man grows. So yeah, all in for that. Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm glad we postponed the show one day so that we could talk about this. I don't know, Micah. This guy says that he's going to protect the world. And I said to you over text message today, this guy can't even protect his wife from Namor. How is he going to protect us? And you said that means this movie is accurate because it shows Reed as the failure that he is. What did you think of this trailer?
Man, I think this is a perfect trailer. I think this is the last trailer that they need to show. I know they generally, do 3 trailers. One is the teaser trailer or the introduction to the 2 is the story trailer. That's what this is. And 3 is like here's the action trailer. I don't need the third one. This gives me all the story I need. I am hype. This is my most anticipated movie of the summer. My bias not, withstanding. I'm very, this did nothing but just reignite. Like I've been feeling a little down on Marvel lately. I know everybody says, we out, we back. Nah, this is the we back for me. This is gonna be it.
If this hits, it's gonna be hard to walk away. It's gonna be
when this hits.
Okay.
When this hits.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm gonna be all in. Look, I'm all in anyway, right? I'm all in anyway. I'm gonna see all these things. Even if I do complain about them a little bit, it's because I like them, right? If I don't complain, that means like I don't give a shit, right?
Right.
And I very much give a shit about the Fantastic Four, and this has the vibe that I'm looking for. Look, my favorite Pixar movie is The Incredibles. The Incredibles are just the Fantastic Four.
That's all they are.
This is just The Incredibles, right?
That's all it needs to be. That's all it needs to be.
Right. That's all it really does need to be. It just needs to be a version of The Incredibles, which is a version of the Fantastic Four. I think everything still looks good. I like the idea that we are confirmed that we are at least getting probably Franklin. I'm thinking maybe you get Franklin and Valeria. I'm thinking they might make them twins. You know, normally Franklin is the one that is the older one. Mm-hmm. And Valeria comes along, and she comes along because her name is Valeria because Dr. Doom birthed her because Reed was off being a bad husband and father. And Johnny is like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to call a guy who's got doctor in his name to help deliver this baby. And he's an idiot. So he calls Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom is like, yeah, I can deliver your baby. But there
are no other doctors available. I guess I'll call Dr. Doom. You should definitely call it a guy. Different guy. Come on.
But yeah, man. Look, we're getting at least one, if not both. I'm thinking if we do get only one, we'll get Franklin. And I think that Franklin, because Franklin is a mutant, right? I think he's a mutant.
Yes.
But he's also like one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah.
He was born a mutant. He's got the cosmic rays from both of his parents, all that cosmic bullshit, and he can reshape reality, right? I think Franklin is going to be the thing that Dr. Doom uses to help reshape reality into battle. I think he's going to take the place of Molecule Man from Secret Wars 2015.
Oh, that's a very good theory. That's a very I've not heard that. Did you steal that from someone else? This is yours.
I did not steal it from anybody else. I did not.
All right, look, that's a pretty good dude. I told you. That's not bad. That's very good.
I swear to God, I did not take it. But I figure if you're introduced, like, what other reason could there be?
Why are you doing Franklin? Right.
Besides introducing Franklin in the first movie, right? Before we realize that these folks, before we even get to know these people and get to like them, like, we're introducing the children. One of the children is just omnipotence personified, right? It seems like something that a guy named Dr. Doom would do, right? And I think I haven't quite figured the whole thing out, but those are just like the leaps in logic that I can kind of come up with.
But that's not bad. That's a really good. I really like that theory. I hadn't thought of that at all. But it does make sense. I believe the reporting is it's just Franklin is the only child that's going to be born.
Okay.
But I mean, if Franklin and Valeria are there, that doesn't change your theory at all. But it does. Your theory is interesting, right? Because that does give a very good impetus why Reed and Doom are at absolute odds with each other, right? Like he steals his son and does this with him, right? Like I'm holding him. He's keeping Battle World going and whatever. I don't know what Doom Incubator, whatever that would be called. A Doom Baiter? I don't know. And that's how he's keeping the sort of Battle World thing going. And that is their reason for their.
That's right. That could be the reason for their hatred for each other, right? Or, like I haven't quite figured it out because I don't exactly know what they're doing with Dr. Doom. Like there's this picture that's going around that people are claiming is real. I don't want to believe it's real. Have you seen the image of?
I have.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that's real. It's too set up, right? It looks too much like it's not trying to be real. You know what I mean? Like,
Here's why. Go ahead.
It looks too staged as a leaked photo, right? And it just, and I don't know. I don't want to believe it because he's in his Iron Man outfit, right? And I just don't want to believe it.
Here's the thing. Here's why I don't believe it. Because there is one thing that has been incredibly accurate in the MCU, above all else. They get costumes correct. They do.
Right.
And they know,
even if you have to change them, they get them, right?
Right. And there is no way they're not going to go with a classic design. That is the
you have to, right?
Like there's just, it would be like coming out of the gate and saying, all right, we're going to give, I don't know, we're introducing a new Spider-Man. First time you meet him in fucking Civil War, he shows up in the Fantastic Four suit with the bag over his head. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, that would make no sense. You know what I mean? Like, it would just be silly and you would be like completely confused as a viewer. The people who know who Doctor Doom is knows what Doctor Doom looks like. It is the most classic design like of all fucking comic book villains. People just know that look if you read comics. Or even like tangentially know comics, right? I don't see them coming out of the gate going in a different direction. I just don't. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't, man. I really don't. I really don't. And look, I know people are going to say, well, you know, they changed Captain America's costume, right? Like, and that cloth over armor looks ridiculous. Yeah, like it does. But you know what else looks ridiculous? Head to toe yellow spandex, bro. Like that shit looks ridiculous. Yeah. But when they did it, you loved it, right? In Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep.
So and you even got the Captain America like traditional outfit in that first Captain America movie, just to show you that it didn't work, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that what they're going to do with Doctor Doom is going to look like this 100%, right? I'm not saying it's going to look exactly like this.
Yeah, we're going
to look more like this than it does the infamous Iron Man outfit. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because if you're trying to draw a line between this is not Tony Stark from another universe type of shit, you wouldn't go with the infamous Iron Man suit.
Right.
That gives people the opposite thought process, right? You don't do that. Also, I don't want to see Robert Downey Jr.'s face.
I really don't. I really don't want to see it. No,
I don't want to see his face.
Don't want to see it.
I don't want a moment in the movie where the heroes meet him and then he doesn't have his mask on and they're like, Tony, what the fuck? I don't want that. I don't want that because that should not be what's going on. They should be fighting Doom. And that's it. I don't want a conversation about is he Iron Man from no, it's Doctor Doom. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You should never see his face. Like I want the first time you see that motherfucker, it's like the shadow moment. He's just putting on the mask, right? Like that's it. I don't want to ever see. I don't ever want to see his face. Nope, unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, we get some other moments in this before we get out of here that I think are important. We get to see Galactus's Herald. I forget the character's name. I'm just going with DEI Silver Surfette, if that works, because I'm sure there are going to be some idiots on the internet that have a fucking problem with it. Well, she's a girl, bro, because you're a virgin. I don't know. She looks good. She looks dope. Looks good. It's a solid design. I mean, it's a simple design, but it works. We see the Thing pulling a ship, which is also very cool.
I love that. I love that everyone loves the mascot character, right? Like,
yep.
Like I love that everyone loves the Thing. I love that Sue is. This is a 60s where Sue is not like an invisible girl, right? Like she is the matrix because like quietly, Sue is the most powerful of the four, right? Like,
yeah,
she is of the core four. She's the most powerful, right? Like her power set from her power set, right?
Right.
And I love that she seems like she seems like an equal leader, right? Especially because this Reed Richards knows that he can't save them. If you look at Pedro Pascal, every shot that you see him in,
He's worried.
he's not smiling. He's not smirking. He looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, right? He knows that he probably fucked something up, right? And he is trying to figure things out. And that's why Sue is being a good partner and is like, hey, you know, we can do this together. We can do this together, right? And yeah, this is a very interesting take on Reed that I wasn't expecting. Like, I hope they don't make me like him, because that goes.
That would be a real problem for you.
That's just not my brand.
What am I supposed to do with this? Fuck this guy. You're rooting for the villain. Yeah, I mean, look, Pedro Pascal's superpower is vulnerability. That's his superpower as an actor. Like, his character's like, he is able to reach out of that fucking screen and grab on your fucking heart and be like, feel sad for me. And you're like, fuck, I do. Like, bro, I do. And then he can kind of pull it out in moments, right? Like, that's his superpower. He has an ability to just really draw you into him as an actor. It's actually a skill that a lot of actors do not have. But yeah, they do seem like they are more co-equal partners, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Like, we get a little bit.
He still seems distant, and that can wreck a relationship, right? Like, he still seems very distant, but he's distant for a reason. He fucked something up.
Right, and he's in his head. He's in his head.
And right, he's in his head the whole time. Whereas, you know, every other interpretation of Reed is that he's in his head, but he's in his head because in like a smarmy, like, yeah, people throw this diagnosis out a lot, which is, you know, but he's kind of like autistic in a way, right? Like, he's just like high functioning, focused on this specific task, right? One task at a time, and he just has to figure it out, right? Where this one seems like he's just very, very weary and very worried, and I don't want to have to feel for him.
I hate Reed Richards. I mean, there's also an aspect of this is their first fight, right? Like, I mean, I think Mole Man is clearly going to be a thing that they take on. Obviously, Galactus, and then the Herald. But this is kind of their first. I get a feeling. I mean, the movie's called First Steps. Like, I have a feeling that this is their first time. Like, they're heroes because, like, they can do things and, like, everyone loves them and all this other stuff, and they do science and maybe do inventions that help the world and stuff like that. But I don't think they've ever faced anybody before. And I think this is the worry, is like, can we do this, right? And their first outing is going to be a big fucking deal. So, and I like Sue's comment, like, it has to be us, right? Like, it can't be anybody else, because there are no other super characters in their universe, is my guess.
Right.
We also get our first look at Reed stretching. What did you think of that design? Does that look pretty good to you?
It does. You know, they were very smart into only give you like a tenth of a second of it, right? I'm very not concerned. I'm very curious as to what it's going to look like while we're actually like sitting there watching it. That's a hard power to pull off.
It's super hard.
And I think they're going to do an adequate job, but I can see people like not digging it.
I mean,
it's a very cartoony looking power, and you got to do. And this looks like it takes place, like, there's a lot of daylight here, and it's hard to hide stuff in the daylight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even this one shot, they're kind of hiding it through like debris and stuff like that. But
yeah,
this is a very goofy power, and it can look very goofy on screen. So I kind of use it very sparingly.
Yeah, like, just make it work in great moments, but like, yeah, not a lot. It's just not a lot, and that's just It's just a testament to like the goofiness of how it works. Like it just does. So yeah, July 25th, man. Exciting. Very, very exciting stuff. All right. That is it for us for this week's episode. We will see you guys next week.
See ya.